In this video, while learning what happens in the universe in 1 second, we will actually also learn what we've been missing in everyday life. In our previous videos, we talked about how vast the universe is and how much space we actually take up within it. Even though we occupy only about as much space as a speck of dust in the universe, we are all so caught up in the rush and hustle of our own inner worlds that it feels as though the world and the universe consist of nothing but us. Amid this rush, we fail to notice what's happening around us and the changes taking place. Every day of ours moves along a certain routine, and everything feels the same to us. This might have something to do with how much space we occupy. Yes, we are small beings compared to the universe, but even cosmically speaking, it's always the same sky, always the same systems, as if nothing ever changes. Even across thousands of years of history, from hieroglyphs to cave paintings, it's always the same sun, always the same stars. It really does feel like nothing ever changes. What actually makes us feel this way, once again, is human ego, because humans forget just how vast the universe truly is relative to themselves, and so they fall into this illusion. But after this video, that will become a thing of the past, because while we're busy with our own affairs, such devastating and magnificent things are happening in the universe that you won't be able to believe what you're about to hear. If you're ready, let's begin. As always, we start our journey from our own world. Our Earth moves around the Sun at a speed of 108,000 kilometers per hour, which comes out to 30 kilometers per second. Right now, another 30 kilometers has just passed. But it's not just our Earth. Our entire solar system also orbits around our galaxy, the Milky Way, at 720,000 kilometers per hour, which comes out to 200 kilometers per second. Starting to get surprised? But hold on, we're only just getting started. Our Milky Way galaxy, meanwhile, is moving toward a cosmic void called the Great Attractor. Brace yourselves, at exactly 1,000 kilometers per second. We recommend watching our video about cosmic voids. Andromeda, within the same galaxy group as us, is approaching us at 100 kilometers per second. This collision seems inevitable, but don't worry, we still have 4.5 billion years left. How are we doing so far? Even though everything seems the same, in reality, everything is changing every single second, isn't it? And we're still just at the beginning of the video. We understand that we're covering distance. Now let's take a look at what kinds of events are happening. For example, our sun burns roughly 600 million tons of hydrogen every second. We all know, or at least feel, what burning that produces. And with the 4 million units of energy released during this burning, it turns into the heat and light that is the source of our lives. Trillions of cosmic rays reach our sun every second. These cosmic rays reach our Earth at a rate of roughly 15,000 per square meter. That is such a huge number that if we didn't have our atmosphere, our Earth would become uninhabitable. Our plants beneath the atmosphere produce 3,000 tons of oxygen every second. Of course, all living things also consume that same amount of oxygen every second. 16 tons of water evaporates on our Earth every second, and just as with oxygen, rainfall occurs at the same rate. Again, there is a balance at play. Let's move a bit further away from our Earth and take a look at what's happening in the universe within that 1 second as well. 11 billion years ago, our universe went through a phase we call cosmic noon. It was practically the universe's celebration period, with thousands of stars being born every second. The number of stars forming right now is only about 3% of what it was during that period. That's how enormous a rate of star birth we're talking about. It feels to us as though the universe has essentially shut down its factory and new stars aren't being born anymore. That 3% figure I just mentioned actually corresponds to exactly 4,000 stars per second. 4,000 stars are born in our universe every second. How many stars do you think were being born every second 11 billion years ago, during that phase we call cosmic noon? An unfathomable number. So, how many of these 4,000 stars are in the Milky Way galaxy? Just 5. Per second, right? No, per year. Yes, 5 stars are born every year in our galaxy. The universe is so vast that only 5 of them fall to us. Naturally, stars are born and die just like us. We've talked about their births. Now it's time for their deaths. But the death of stars is not the kind of death we're familiar with. We could call it more of a change in form, and the largest and most magnificent of these transformations are supernova explosions. In our still relatively young universe, this event happens quite rarely. In the observable universe, it ranges between 2 and 10 per second. While 4,000 stars are being born, a maximum of 10 stars are being lost. Our universe is perfectly healthy and still in a productive production process. So far, this all sounds logical, but that's not enough for us, you know? Now it's time to break some heads and push the limits of logic. Everyone involved in science already knows that our universe is expanding. We haven't even finished figuring out the Big Bang phase. Now let's continue with what we do know. What else do we know? The effect of an explosion decreases and loses its force the farther you move from the center of the explosion. What else do we know? The effect of an explosion can't increase in strength at some point other than the center. Now, using these facts, according to our physics, we would expect that after the event we call the Big Bang, the explosion's effect should lose strength over time, and the expansion should eventually come to a stop. But a few billion years ago, something happened. Don't ask me what, because nobody knows. But whatever it was, the expansion rate of our universe suddenly began accelerating again. Scientists call this dark energy. We still haven't figured out what it is. It could be one force, one explosion, one thing, anything. Because of the effect of this thing, our universe is currently expanding at a speed of 7.2 billion kilometers per hour. That comes out to 2 million kilometers per second. Wait a second, wasn't there supposed to be nothing in the universe faster than the speed of light? Wasn't the speed of light 300,000 kilometers per second something nobody could exceed? Weren't these our laws? Yes, these are our laws, not the universe's. The universe isn't obligated to follow the laws and constants that apply within it. They exist for our benefit. As we explain all this, our universe continues expanding by breaking all the laws, and by millions of kilometers, no less. So what else is happening as we continue explaining? The universe is expanding, and the effects of the Big Bang, as we said, are still ongoing. Cosmic photons released from the Big Bang are still reaching us. What this means is that we are still living not in the universe's present light, but in its past light. For now, there's no problem with this, but not everything in the universe is going smoothly either. As the universe expands, disorder within the universe is also increasing. The main culprit behind this continually increasing disorder, that is, entropy, is black holes. We have now proven the existence of black holes. We've even photographed one. If anything comes into contact with a black hole, its structure is permanently destroyed, meaning it essentially resets itself and all information is erased. This means that as entropy increases, our information is being erased because of black holes. As far as we know, there are currently 10 to the power of 22 black holes in the universe. This means that entropy increases by roughly 10 to the power of 85 units every second. Every second, we are losing this much information and light. While talking about what happens in a single second, we've ended up using up several minutes. So let's briefly take a look at what has happened while we've been watching this video. During the time I've been watching this video, our Earth has traveled roughly 15,000 kilometers around the Sun. Our solar system has moved another 120,000 kilometers within the Milky Way and continues to move forward. Our Milky Way galaxy has moved another 500,000 kilometers toward the Great Attractor, and Andromeda has moved 50,000 kilometers closer to us. Our Sun, our source of life, has converted 320 billion tons of hydrogen into helium from the start of the video until now. Our plants, our source of breath, have produced 1.5 million tons of oxygen during this time, and we have happily consumed it. In terms of water, 9 billion tons of water evaporated from our life-giving springs and returned to Earth again in the same proportion as rainfall. What incredible events! The human mind can hardly grasp it. 2 million stars were born in the universe, and thousands lost their lives. Thousands of planets, meanwhile, continue to grow and develop. Our universe, over the course of this video, expanded by roughly another 1 billion kilometers. These are just the things that happened during the length of this video, truly unfathomable numbers and changes. That's what's happening in the universe. So what have we experienced during this time? You probably thought this topic would never come around to us, didn't you? We are living, yes, but are we even aware of what we're experiencing? In 1 second, 5 people are born on Earth and 2 people lose their lives. Millions of living creatures are hunted by other creatures as part of the cycle. One side's life becomes energy for the other side's life. How ironic. This is a normal cycle, but what's worse is that roughly 150 species go extinct every single day. Perhaps while we've been talking in this video, dozens more species have already gone extinct. They're being erased. But doesn't something new come to replace them? Of course it does. And what does it come through? Mutation. Every second, dozens of new life forms say hello to our lives, to our universe, through mutation. Thousands more things are happening on our Earth, but that's the subject of another video. That's it. One day, when you lift your head from your work and say, every day feels the same, so boring, let this video come to mind. Both at the micro scale and the macro scale, life continues to flow, expand, and grow at an enormous speed. Forget about living the same day. We never even experience the exact same second twice. And while we go about complaining in our worlds, where we see ourselves as so significant, the universe carries on without paying us any mind, perhaps even laughing at our complaints as it continues on its way. This is exactly why cosmology, while making a person feel small, also opens up new horizons for them. From the smallest to the largest, we are an extremely valuable, yet extremely tiny part of every system. And with this awareness, we need to keep advancing our work and continuing our journey in science. Don't forget to share this video with friends you'd like to bring along on this journey with us. See you in the next video.